Hello and welcome back to Nomifactory. I just finished this episode and I'm speaking after the fact. The reason I'm doing this is that I want to let you know that I tried putting some filters on my microphone and improving the audio quality. I hope you find me speaking louder and clearer and that it will improve the episodes from now on. The problem with this episode is that I only realized midway through the episode that the audio is very bad and it will improve from about the midpoint of this episode. I hope you enjoyed the video and let's get into it. I've made some Invar gears, Invar plates and some electrical steel blocks, and we should be able to craft up the first hardened upgrade kits. This electrical steel is just steel and silicon in the alloy smelter. I'll show you here. Silicon, steel, and the Invar gears we made in the extractor with or the fluid solidifier with a gear mold, and this means we can upgrade our setup here. With the dynamos upgraded to hardened, we are still losing some power, so we will have to upgrade them to reinforced as well. And for this we need blocks of aluminium, only 3, but we still need them. And we need some electrum as well, which I'm working on. We just need 27 aluminium bars for the blocks, and then I will turn this off again so we don't use all our battery here. Until you get automation, this pack is all about multitasking. We are making tin wire here, some copper nickel alloys here. We're still making raw rubber pulp and then chemical reacting it into rubber, which we almost have a full drum of. And we made a lot of gears here at the same time. And when we have enough power, we will always have the aluminum or some other blast furnace recipe working as well. And we also just emptied these of steel. We have enough for the reinforced upgrades now. We just need to make these blocks of aluminum and craft it up. And we can upgrade these. They should now be making, they are making 800 IF. So these conduits are actually not good enough to transfer all this power. So we will be needing to upgrade these very soon. It also looks like we are negative on the sugarcane production. So we will want to put in the fuel catalyzers here into the dynamos pretty quickly. It looks like we're able to keep up with the blast furnace now, so that's really nice. And I want to make a correction. I think these cables are able to transfer much more power than it says on the tooltip here. This just means that it can transfer 512 RF per connection. And this is 400 RF on this connection and 400 RF on that connection. So it should be able to transfer all the power, but soon enough it won't be enough. And we will have to upgrade these no matter what. At this point of the game we can quite easily craft up 8 more machine hulls. This was a lot difficult just 2 episodes ago, but with the machines and upgrades to recipes, it's actually a lot easier. We have enough for 5 fuel catalyzers. I really want 5 for each of these, but I think I'll start with the turbines since they don't seem to have enough steam to produce all the power we want them to. I think they need 3 each. Yeah, it seems like they keep steam. I'm still working on more of them. Ideally we want 5 in each, We almost have enough for the 5 last fuel catalyzers, but we are completely out of iron. We have these 2 ingots left, and yeah, the rest we have used around the base. And as we don't want to go mining, we will just buy it with Nomi coins. We will buy a stack, I think, and start with that. I kind of forgot that we bought some coal and grinded it down to double it. And again, with some things you have to wash them first before you can use them. We were able to double the coal because it you can use coal dust for the process we need it for. It doesn't have to be coal, because we just are interested in this phenol, and for this you can use both coal and coal dust. So I wanted to double it, but you have to use hammers to do this. I'm not 100% sure if this is worth it for double coal. We went to almost 3 steel hammers. We are getting a little low on Nomi nickels, but I hope that we are able to get through it before we get an easier way to get resources, because I'm not that interested in going out mining again. We will just have to make sure that we use the resources we buy with Nomi coins to complete quests. We'll craft up some more hatches and bosses. With this energy hatch, I think we have all the hatches we need for the multi-block. The last thing we need is some coils, but I think we have everything for those when we have made these copper nickels into wire. So we will wait for that and probably figure out where we want this machine. I just realized for the ULV machine hulls we need for the pyrolysis oven controller, we need these wood planks, so we will have to craft up this basic compressor if we want to make it. But that's probably fine, because we will need this anyways for the cheaper circuit plate recipes. We could quite easily craft down the basic compressor. The only things we needed to make was some small gears and some pistons. But we already have some wood pulp, which we should be able to compress down here. And we will, of course, mute it. Let's see. Yeah, this gets us planks. I will set it up with the storage crates and conduits and everything. And we should be able to make everything for the pyrolysis oven now. After a bit of crafting, we needed some more circuits, as always, and some pistons. The fluid pump we had, but we also needed to craft up some more copper-nickel coil. But we now have the pyrolysis oven multi-block. We can now build the pyrolysis oven, and I think we'll build it right here. And if we shift right click, we can see how it should be built, but I can see it needs to be raised one. So if we place the casing here, the pyrolysis oven here, we can see how it needs to be built. And these hatches can be put anywhere the machine casings can go. After a bit of fiddling around, I figured out how I wanted the input buses and hatches. So it should be working now. Beside, oh, it actually loses 2 amps of EU. That might be bad for this line actually, because we are already overloaded on this when we use more than 3 or 4 machines. So I need to upgrade this to 8 amps, that's for sure. We now have all the items required for this fluid heater, which we will use to make steam for this pyrolysis oven. we will put an ender wall here, which is a pretty good source of infinite water. We can make it auto output for this block just by right clicking on it with a winch. We'll need some water to put in. Let's see here, we have a bucket, 2 buckets. Oh, we don't, now it's, damn it. It's auto inputting water into this, which is not what we want. Right click this again. This doesn't have water, then we put this here. This gets water. It probably will need a circuit of 1 here, then it makes steam and is noisy as per usual. And we should get steam in this, yeah we do. Then all that's left to do to get coke and phenol is to input the coal dust and to get a drum that the phenol can be stored in. And we got some phenol and some coke dust. This phenol here is used to make phenolic substrate. It needs 0.1 bucket and this coated circuit board. And these phenolic substrates are used to make the good circuit board, which are needed for the better circuits. The last real thing we need for crafting up these good circuits, or MV circuits, is the gallium arsenide dust. And this is a bit tricky to get a hold of. We need gallium somehow, which is centrifuging something, I think. No. The arsenic dust we can get from centrifuging realgar, and I think we can get realgar with Nomi coins somehow. Yeah, realgar, it's a lot of Nomi coins unfortunately, but we will need it. To get the gallium dust we are only able to get tiny piles, and it looks like we are going to need this sphalerite ore and crush it down, purify it, and then crush it down and then thermal centrifuge it, and we will get these 3 of these tiny piles, so 1/3 of what we need. And we will need to craft up this, so a lot more of what we've already made, so I'll do that. As you can see, these are completely maxed out, which means we are using all of our power, so we will soon need to have to make a upgrade to these. I turned off the blast furnace as it's not getting enough power when this pyrolysis oven is running, unfortunately. So when we feel like we have enough phenol, we'll probably turn this machine off so we can get more aluminium. We can set up the thermal centrifuge here, which I'm afraid uses a bit of power, but we will see. I'll set it up like all the other machines. To make the gallium arsenide, we will need to make up this mixer, which is yet more circuits that we don't have, but I've made the cheap recipe here for the circuit boards in the assembling machine with some glue. And I don't know, I think we have the required items for, we have for 4 circuits, so that should be enough. We need more glass, which we have none, so we have to go back to the desert and get some. and the rotors we have, and the motors we have. So yeah, I'll go get some sand and smelt it down. I can't wait to have a wireless AE system because we always have inventory management issues. After getting some glass, we're able to craft up the mixer, and I think we need to add more to our line. A line that we really should be extending. No, there's space here. We should really be making this into 8 amps, but we don't have the power generation for it anyway, so we will just switch between using certain machines. And we should have the gallium and some arsenic. We'll craft it at the crafting table. Make this into full. And craft... Oh no, this is what we need the mixer for. That's right. Like that. And we will probably need a circuit of 1. Nice. I'll grab a conduit and set it up like we always do. It's quite a long recipe, but this should be our first diode. It is. Nice. And hopefully this is a quest. If we... Oh, now... now we need this in... Oh, we got it. We have a diode, so this should complete. Yeah, we completed a bunch of quests now. And this phenolic board we should be able to get to, because we do have the phenol and the coated circuits. We just need to put it in this chemical reactor that we are using for rubber. We can just get rid of this. Take this phenol drum, if we have space for it. Phenol in here, and circuit boards. And this should make us quite a bit more than we need right now. Well, soon we will need a lot of them, but we have the diodes. We have silver, but we need to make it into wire. It's good we saw that. Oh, that's antimony. This is silver. Goes into the wire mill. Don't think we have any more red alloy cables actually. We will need to make up more of those, but we have a bunch of copper. The only thing I'm worried about is our redstone. Don't think we have much more. Oh, we have a bunch of red alloy cable here that I missed. We need 3 of the LV circuits to make the MV circuit, so that's what I'm cooking up here. Don't think we need more of these right now. I will just make them craft and wait. And here we have a lot of phenolic substrates. We have 21. And if we make this iron 3 chloride, which is a whole process that I won't be making without AE2, we can get a lot cheaper recipes, but I usually don't set this up until later when we're going to need hundreds of MV circuits. We can make our first few good circuit boards actually. That's nice. I thought we could only make 1, but we could make a few. We are now able to make our first MV tier circuit, which is quite a nice accomplishment. We will have to decide what we do with this. I'm debating if I should get into this deep mob evolution, and for the loot fabricator we need 2 MV circuits. This is a very powerful mod which will basically generate all the resources we need, or at least all the ingots we need for the rest of the game. So it's just expanding this until you don't have need for more resources basically, but it also needs a lot of power, which we can make with this lapidary augment in a numismatic dynamo. We can use diamonds in this to make a lot of power, and the diamonds we can get again from deep mob evolution. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm not sure we will get it done in this episode, but I will work towards it as we really need some more power, especially in MV, as those machines use about 4 times as much power as the LVs. For deep mob evolution machines, the loot fabricator and the simulation chamber, we need dark steel ingots which can be made at LV tier. Higher level alloys like end steel, which is one of the cheaper items to make into cables. We can only craft up at MV, I think. Yeah, that needs MV tier, and that's dark steel with end stone. With a bit of assembly and crafting of subcomponents, we should be able to make 11 electronic circuits. And I actually want to upgrade these into a good electronic circuit. We need the good boards here. Some diodes. Do we have everything? Oh, we need some copper cable. And we can actually make 2 MV circuits. So now we have enough for the loot fabricator, and we should have enough for a LV circuit assembly. No, shit. We need 2 for that. The advantage with this is it should be able to craft up. Yeah, look, it can craft up 2 electronic circuits per the components we use now. So we will really want to get this. Don't know if it can make the good as well. Yeah, it can. It also makes the good ones not. Yeah, no, it makes it a lot cheaper because it only uses 2 LV circuits to make one. So I think the circuit assembler is what we should strive for first, and then go for the loot fabricator later. After some crafting, which you have seen everything before, besides this emitter, which require 2 circuits, and these MV circuits required 3 circuits each, so this is a 8 circuit investment, 9 if you count the robot arm, but I think we'll be happy with this because it gives us a lot of opportunity to make way cheaper recipes for circuits. And we have actually started getting into the next chapter a little, or a lot, to be honest. Together with some silicon dust, 32 to be exact, and the gallium arsenate dust we got earlier, I put it into this blast furnace and smelted it up, and it takes 450 seconds to smelt. So eventually we'll want a dedicated blast furnace for this, but we will need dedicated blast furnaces for almost everything we make. It's just that we don't have nearly enough power for it, and in other other playthroughs of Nomifactory I've done, I've just made the stuff on demand, which is not efficient, but that's just how I like to play. This time I'll probably do it different though. I want to be more efficient and play better GregTech. I'm just out here in the Lost Cities dimension, and I'm picking up some cobweb because we will need it to get into Deep Mob Evolution. After a long time, this monocrystalline silicon boule smelted up, but we can't really use it for anything yet. We need MV machines to cut it down to wafers. But we completed a quest, which is all I wanted. If we craft these cobwebs into string and put them into the alloy smelter with some coal dust, it should smelt down into this carbon fiber mesh, which we will smelt down again with pulsating dust, a lot of pulsating dust by the way, into meshes, pulsating meshes, and these we will need for the data models and also for the simulation chamber, and we will need them in quite a large quantity. With the new and improved recipes for components and the circuit assembler making twice as many electronic circuits per recipe, we had enough components and resources to make 64 circuits, which will last us quite a bit, but once we get into AE2, we will use a lot of them because they are needed for the logic processes. Okay, I realized that the sound quality was kinda bad on these videos, so I tried working on it and it should be quite a bit better now. So I hope you enjoy the new and improved sound, and I hope it will make the videos quite a bit better. I played a little off camera, and I used this tricalcium phosphate dust to craft up some glowstone. That's just mixing this with some gold dust, and then you can mix it again with gold dust and some redstone, and you will make this energetic alloy dust, which we smelt up in the blast furnace, and we get energetic alloy ingots, and we need these to get into Deep Mob Evolution. I also crafted up some good electronic circuits or MV circuits, and we need these as well for the loot fabricator. I crafted them up with the better recipes, which only uses 2 of the LV circuits. So it's nice to have this circuit assembler, which yet again improves our life greatly. I also made the infinite water source here into an endeavor because this steam dynamo wasn't getting enough water, so it couldn't power these steam dynamos. To craft up the items from Deep Mob Evolutions, we will need some of these pulsating meshes, which is just 4 pulsating dust and a carbon fiber mesh, and we will need quite a bit of those. So I will start with, let's say we start with 8 and see how that goes. For the machines from Deep Mob Evolution, you need these dark steel machine hulls, and you may just make those by wrapping LV machine hulls in dark steel plates. So they are not too hard. The hard part is getting the obsidian for the dark steel. We should be able to craft up the simulation chamber here. And we have some, that's a quest of course. We have some plates we made here, some energetic alloy plates. And we want these for the loot fabricator, but we need a hopper and another glass pane. After crafting the hopper, we can make the loot fabricator. The fuel from these machines is also made with this pulsating dust in an alloy smelter with some clay. This gives us 4 of these pulsating polymer clay, which we pretty soon will make an automated system for, because this is the basis of all our resource generation, at least the basic ingots. To use the simulation chamber, we will need a blank data model, and we will need to encode this to a mob. I always start off with the zombie because that's basically free iron. Zombie data model. And we'll just put the simulation chamber here. Make sure it gets power, so we'll turn off the electric blast furnace. If we put in the data model and this pulsating polymer clay, it should start up, which it looks like it does. This one only needs 64 RF per tick, but once you get more advanced data models like Enderman and Shulkers, this will cost a lot more in terms of energy. After a while, we got this pristine zombie matter, which can be turned into loot in the loot fabricator. In this case, we can turn it into rotten flesh, or iron ingots, or these other things here that will maybe become useful, maybe not. I'll try and turn this into an iron ingot. And just like that, we have a lot of iron. Or a lot, we have 12. But this will be automated at some point, and we'll use this to gather our iron, gold, silver, and a lot of other resources. And this took like 50 tries to get one of these pristine matters, which is very poor. But if you can see here, it says data collected, and when this hits 50, the percentage will become higher, and it will level up all the way to a certain percentage. I can't really remember it. I think it's 30% chance. We crafted up 8 hellish matter right here, which is overworldian matter crafted with netherrack. And this netherrack here we could craft in the chemical reactor with some lava and some dust. This combined with blaze powder, which could also be crafted just with gunpowder and this hellish matter. With these resources, we should be able to craft up our next data model, which is the blaze. This blaze model requires a lot more power, but we only want the hellish matter for now, so we will not run it for that long. Because we want to craft this into this extraterrestrial matter that we can use to craft an Enderman model, and we can also use it to craft this shulker model. We'll probably go for the shulker model first, because we need the diamonds to power the lapidary dynamos. I've decided on crafting up the shulker model first, because we will need a lot of diamonds to power our dynamos, or at least the dynamos we will soon make. This is a little cheaper on the cost than the blaze model, but it's still kinda expensive and will use all our power. So the next thing we are looking to do is to upgrade our power system and also our cables. To upgrade our power, we need this, the Numismatic dynamo. And we also need an augment for it, which is called the lapidary calibration, which makes it able to burn diamonds for power. Quite a bit of power too. To get these diamond plates, we will need to make the cutting saw. It shouldn't be that big of a problem, it's just a bit of crafting. To make the vibrant alloys, we need energetic alloy, dust, and we need some, I think it's ender pearls. So we should probably work on an Enderman model as well, but we have enough extraterrestrial matter to do that. Look, these can make diamonds. Nice. We need the fine gold wire to make it, and we have it here. Blank data model. some extraterrestrial matter. And an ender pearl. And this is the Enderman model. I think I'll run that a little to get the ender pearls we need. And then we can run the shulker model afterwards. I crafted up this cutting machine, which needs some water to work. It can also use distilled water or lubricant, but the only difference it makes is the time to cut. This will cut the diamond block fine enough, but it will just take some time. And it will obviously need power. This means we can make up the lapidary augment. Now we just need the numismatic dynamo, which is arguably the hardest part. We needed these infinity bimetal gears, and to make these we need grains of infinity, but we were actually lucky to find 3 of these in the Lost Cities dimension, and 2 of them we will use to make these energized bimetal gears and upgrade them to vibrant bimetal gears, which we need for the numismatic dynamo. We need a diamond furnace, which I decided to make from the bottom because I don't want to change my smelting setup. I could have just joined one of those and it would have been fine, but I prefer it this way. Like with all dynamos, we need this excitation coil. We had everything for the numismatic dynamo, and I crafted up some upgrade kits so that we would be able to upgrade it as well. And the lapidary calibration we made together, so it is able to burn diamonds. We'll try and put it down and see how much power it produces, because I can't remember how much it is. But if I remember correctly, it produces way more than these cables can handle. I'll steal the fuel catalyzers from here. Let's try one. Yeah, it produces a whopping 6,000 RF per tick, and these can only carry 500, so this is way too much. The problem we face right now is that we can't connect 2 tiers of energy conduit together. That's not allowed by the NDIMO mod, so we will have to craft up enough to switch out the whole system. So I will work a little on that. We need more conduit binder and a lot more stuff, so I will gather some resources for that. I just crafted up our first MV machine hulls. These will become important because we want to start our MV line, and I want to start off by crafting the alloy smelter. And we do this because I want to be able to make end steel, which is a MV tier recipe. And if we do this, we can upgrade our energetic alloy conduits all the way to vibrant, and then again into end steel conduits. And these should be able to transfer, let's see, 32,000 RF per connection. This will be enough RF to take us all the way into high voltage and some way into extreme voltage, but that won't be until far from now. So we won't worry about those voltages, but we won't have to worry about changing out the cables for a while if we manage to do that. Here's the MV energy converter. We crafted up a few more MV circuits. I think I'll make my MV line here pretty close to the LV line so that we can use all the machines at once. And for the MV tier, we use energetic alloy wire as a superconductor, so that we have no EU loss and we can walk on it as much as we want. It wasn't too hard once we had the MV machine hulls and the circuits to craft up the advanced alloy smelter. To craft up the end steel we need, we just need a bit of endstone, which we can make with the extraterrestrial matter, some ender pearls, and some sandstone, which is very easy for us now. Then we take the dark steel we crafted up and put it into the MV alloy furnace. Let's see, it's right there. Yeah, and this crafts up end steel for us. This is also a very cheap superconductor for us because it's just steel, obsidian, and endstone. So if we don't want to craft up the HV tier of superconductor or even the energetic alloy wire, this is a pretty cheap way to get a superconductor, which works all the way up to EV. From the end steel we made, we had enough to make 56 end steel energy conduits. We needed a bit more conduit binder if we wanted to make all 64, but this should be enough for now. And when we need to expand the power net even more, we'll just craft some more end steel and some more conduit binder, and we have quite a few conduits we can upgrade. I will start changing out these energy conduits after changing out the conduit system. We still have 30 end steel energy conduits left, so that's good. We will need those for expanding the base even more in the future. But for now, I think this is a good place to wrap up the episode. We got quite a lot done in this one. We started making MV circuits, built up this pyrolysis oven, got that one working with crafting up phenol. We made the basic circuit assembler, which could make us better recipes for the lower tier circuits and the higher tier circuits. We started up DML evolution and got an easy way to get some diamonds and ender pearls. What more did we do? We started making other alloys like energetic alloy and vibrant alloy and end steel, stuff like that. We semi-started our MV line that we needed to upgrade our conduits, and we upgraded all our conduits from the lowest tier all the way to a tier that can handle up to 30,000 RF. And of course we also upgraded our power generation and are now able to generate a maximum of 6,000 RF up from 800. So that's quite a bit of an improvement. Next episode we'll look about trying to automating this fuel pulsating polymer clay for a deep mob evolution setup, and maybe craft some more of these machines so that we can automate resource generation. But for now, I'm signing off. I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you will keep following me through this journey through Nomifactory. And I hope you have a good day. Bye bye.